Lily glanced at Jake as he expertly navigated the winding roads, the moonlight illuminating his profile. "I can't believe we're doing this," she said, a playful smile on her lips. "Just us and the open road." Jake chuckled, his eyes sparkling with mischief. "Well, it's either this or sit at home staring at our screens." They had been friends for years, sharing countless adventures, but tonight felt different. The air was charged with an unspoken tension, something lingering just beneath the surface. As the familiar songs played on the radio, they reminisced about their childhood escapades, laughter spilling between them like the warm night breeze. "Remember that time we got lost on the way to the lake?" Jake asked, his voice full of nostalgia. "You insisted we follow that hawk cut." Lily rolled her eyes, feigning annoyance. "Hey, it was a great adventure. Besides, we discovered that amazing ice cream place." They both laughed, the sound echoing in the stillness of the night. As they drove further into the countryside, the city lights faded, replaced by starlit skies. Jake turned the music down, the silence amplifying their thoughts. Lily felt her heart race as she glanced at him, her mind swirling with what-ifs. Did he feel it too? The spark that had ignited between them, the way their hands brushed against each other when reaching for snacks. "Do you ever think about us?" Jake's voice broke the silence, sending a jolt through her, Lily's breath caught in her throat, her mind racing. "What do you mean?" she asked, trying to sound casual, though her heart was pounding. "I mean, we've been friends forever, but sometimes it feels like there's more, you know?" His eyes were focused on the road, but she could sense the vulnerability in his words. She took a deep breath, weighing her response. "I've thought about it," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I didn't know if you felt the same." Jake pulled over at a scenic overlook, the vast expanse of stars stretching before them. "I do," he confessed, turning to face her, his expression earnest. "I've liked you for a long time, Lily. I just didn't know how to say it." Her heart soared and the weight of unspoken feelings lifted. "I've liked you too," she replied, a smile breaking across her face. "I was scared it would ruin our friendship." "Maybe it could make it better," he suggested, a hopeful glint in his eyes. They sat in the stillness, the world around them fading away. In that moment, nothing else mattered. The stars above seemed to shine brighter, reflecting the new possibility blossoming between them. "I don't want to rush anything," Lily said, her voice steady but filled with excitement. "But I want to explore this, whatever this is." "Me too," Jake said, a grin spreading across his face. He reached out, taking her hand in his, their fingers intertwining naturally. The warmth of his touch sent a thrill through her, and she squeezed his hand, anchoring herself in this new reality. As they continued to talk, sharing their hopes and dreams, the night stretched on, filled with laughter and newfound intimacy. Every glance, every brush of their hands felt electric, a promise of what was to come. They spoke about their future, the adventures they wanted to share, each revelation drawing them closer. Eventually, as the first light of dawn began to break, they reluctantly decided it was time to head back. The drive home was filled with comfortable silence, each lost in their thoughts. But now, the air was lighter, infused with possibility. "Whatever happens next, I'm glad we took this drive," Jake said, glancing at her. "Me too," Lily replied, her heart full. They had crossed a threshold, stepping into a new chapter of their lives, and she couldn't wait to see where it led. As they drove towards the rising sun, Lily knew this was just the beginning. Their friendship had blossomed into something beautiful, and together they were ready to embrace whatever the future held. As they drove back, the dawn painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, casting a warm glow inside the car. Lily couldn't help but steal glances at Jake, who seemed lost in thought, a small smile playing on his lips. The weight of the night before hung in the air, an electric charge that filled every moment with unspoken possibilities. "Are you nervous?" she finally asked, breaking the comfortable silence. Jake turned to her, his expression thoughtful. A little, but mostly excited. It feels like we've crossed a line into something new. Lily nodded, feeling a flutter in her stomach. Yeah, me too. I just want to make sure we don't lose what we have. Jake chuckled softly. I don't think we will. If anything, I think we're building on it. His eyes sparkled with sincerity, and Lily felt a warmth spread through her. They had shared so many memories as friends. Now they were on the brink of creating something deeper. They returned to the city, the streets bustling with the morning rush. As they approached her apartment, Lily felt a mix of anticipation and anxiety. So what now? She asked, turning to Jake as he parked. I guess we take it slow, he suggested, his voice gentle. Maybe we can start by going out on actual dates. Lily's heart skipped a beat. I'd like that. The thought of exploring this new territory thrilled her. They had shared so much already. Now they could delve into something more profound, allowing their friendship to evolve naturally. After they said their goodbyes, Lily walked into her apartment, her mind racing. She replayed every moment of their conversation, every brush of his hand, every laugh they shared. It was surreal. She had always felt a connection with Jake, but now it felt like a vibrant thread woven into the fabric of their lives. Over the next few weeks, they fell into a comfortable rhythm. They spent more time together, exploring new restaurants, going on hikes, and enjoying movie nights that stretched into the early hours. Each outing felt charged with a new energy, a dance of flirtation and genuine affection. One Friday evening, Jake suggested they go to a local fair. It'll be fun. There's food, games, and a Ferris wheel, he said, his eyes bright with excitement. Lily couldn't resist the idea. As they wandered through the fair, the atmosphere buzzed with laughter and joy. They played games, and Jake won her a stuffed bear, which he insisted she name. What about Mr. Snuggles? He suggested, laughing. Very original, Lily teased, but she took the bear, feeling a swell of happiness. The evening progressed, and as they stood in line for the Ferris wheel, she could feel her heart racing. Not just from the thrill of the ride, but from the closeness they had developed. Once they reached the top, the view was breathtaking. The city sprawled below them, twinkling lights mirroring the stars above. Jake turned to her, his expression serious. Can I ask you something? Of course, Lily replied, her heart pounding. Do you think we're ready for this? To be more than friends? He searched her eyes, vulnerability etched on his face. Lily took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. I do. I want to be with you, Jake. I've wanted this for a long time. A smile broke across his face, and he leaned in closer, their faces inches apart. Me too. In that suspended moment, with the world around them fading away, they shared their first kiss. It was sweet and tentative, a soft exploration of the new territory they were stepping into. The kiss deepened, and the warmth of the connection enveloped them like a blanket. As they descended from the ride, laughter bubbled between them, the thrill of the kiss igniting a new spark. They continued to explore the fair hand in hand, the world around them bright and full of promise. Days turned into weeks, and their relationship blossomed. They found themselves lost in long conversations late into the night, discovering new layers of each other. Each moment felt significant, every shared secret a thread tying them closer together. One night, as they sat on the couch watching a movie, Jake turned to Lily, his expression serious. I've been thinking about us a lot. I want to make sure we're on the same page. What do you mean? She asked, her curiosity piqued. I care about you, Lily. I want this to be real, to be something we both invest in. His honesty resonated deeply within her. I want that too, she replied, feeling a rush of emotion. I'm all in, Jake. You mean so much to me. Their relationship deepened further, marked by tender moments and shared experiences. They explored the city together, laughed over inside jokes, and supported each other through challenges. Every day brought new discoveries, each a step deeper into the bond they were forging. One sunny Saturday, they went for a hike. the fresh air invigorating them. As they reached a scenic overlook, Jake pulled her close, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. "Can you believe how far we've come?" Lily smiled, leaning into him. "It feels amazing. I never thought we'd get here." Jake's expression turned serious. "I don't want to rush things, but I can see a future with you. A real one." Her heart swelled at his words. "I can see it too." They stood in comfortable silence, the beauty of the view mirroring the beauty of their relationship. As the seasons changed, so did their love. They navigated the ups and downs, always returning to the foundation of their friendship. Every challenge they faced only strengthened their bond, reinforcing the trust that had been built over years. One evening they sat on the rooftop of Lily's apartment, the city skyline glowing below them. The stars twinkled above, and a soft breeze rustled the leaves around them. "Do you remember the first time we went stargazing?" Jake asked, a nostalgic smile on his face. Lily chuckled. "How could I forget? You tried to impress me with your knowledge of constellations, but you got them all wrong." Jake laughed, a rich, warm sound. "Hey, I was just nervous." "Adorable," she teased, nudging him playfully. But beneath the laughter, she felt a deep sense of gratitude. "I'm so glad we took that drive. It changed everything." "Me too," he said, his tone shifting. "I wouldn't trade this for anything." As they sat together, the weight of their journey pressed gently against them. They had started as friends, and now they were partners, supporting, loving, and growing together. "Whatever happens, I promise to be here," Jake said softly, looking into her eyes. "And I promise the same," Lily replied, feeling the truth of her words. They leaned in, their lips meeting in a soft, lingering kiss, a promise of their love and commitment. In that moment, under the vast expanse of stars, Lily knew they were embarking on a beautiful journey together. One filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. Continuing Lily and Jake's story, let's delve deeper into their evolving relationship, challenges, and memorable moments as they navigate this new chapter together. As the summer days turned to crisp autumn evenings, Lily and Jake's relationship blossomed with a comfortable rhythm. They had established routines that intertwined their lives: weekend hikes, cozy movie nights, and spontaneous adventures around the city. Each moment deepened their connection, making it feel as if they were building a world uniquely theirs. One weekend, Jake suggested a day trip to a nearby vineyard. "The fall colours will be stunning," he promised, his enthusiasm infectious. Lily loved the idea, thrilled at the thought of exploring somewhere new with him. The day arrived bright and clear, the sun casting a golden hue over the landscape. As they drove out of the city, laughter filled the car, the playlist full of their favourite songs. They shared playful banter, reminiscing about their past adventures, the familiarity bringing them closer. Upon arriving at the vineyard, they were greeted by sprawling fields of vines, the leaves ablaze in shades of red and gold. Jake took her hand, leading her through the rows, and Lily felt a rush of happiness. The air was crisp, filled with the sweet scent of grapes and the promise of a perfect day. After a tour of the vineyard, they settled at a picnic table with a bottle of wine and a spread of cheese and fruit. They clinked their glasses, the sound echoing their shared joy. "To new adventures," Jake said, his gaze locked on hers. "And to us," Lily added, her heart swelling. They sipped their wine, the warmth of the sun matching the warmth growing between them. As the afternoon wore on, they wandered through the vineyard, exploring the beauty of the landscape. Lily picked up a fallen leaf, marvelling at its intricate patterns. "Look at this! Nature is so amazing," she exclaimed, holding it up for Jake to see. "Honestly, I see us growing together, maybe even taking trips like this more often, exploring new places." Lily's heart soared at the thought. "And what about deeper commitments?" I'd like that too, he replied, his gaze unwavering. I want to take this seriously. You mean so much to me, and I don't want to lose what we have. I don't want to lose it either, she affirmed, feeling a surge of emotion. Let's make sure we keep communicating no matter what. Their conversation continued, weaving through their hopes, fears, and dreams. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they shared another kiss, one that felt filled with promise and understanding. It was a moment of clarity, a vow to cherish what they were building together. In the following weeks, they continued to explore the depths of their relationship. They faced small challenges that tested their communication but always emerged stronger. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, a small disagreement over the recipe led to a playful exchange that turned into laughter. Are you telling me you don't trust my culinary skills? Jake teased, holding a spoon out to her. Lily smirked, playing along. Let's just say I trust you more with the remote than the risotto. Their playful banter was a testament to their growing comfort with each other, a sign of the bond they were forging. But as autumn faded into winter, they encountered a more significant challenge. One night, Jake received a job offer in a different city, an opportunity he had been dreaming of for years. When he shared the news, Lily felt a pang of anxiety. This is amazing, Jake. You have to take it, she said, genuinely excited, but also worried about what it meant for them. I want to, he replied, his tone serious, but I don't want to leave you behind. They sat on her couch, the weight of the decision hanging between them. What does this mean for us? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I don't know yet. I want to talk about it, figure out how we can make this work. They spent hours discussing options, exploring how to maintain their connection despite the distance. The conversation was both difficult and necessary, a test of their commitment to each other. I believe in us, Jake said finally, taking her hands in his. I want to find a way to make this work. You mean too much to me. Tears filled Lily's eyes as she nodded, feeling a mixture of fear and hope. I want that too. We'll figure it out together. As Jake prepared to move, they embraced every moment they had left, savoring the time together. Their last weekend before his departure, they returned to the vineyard, the place where they had shared so many dreams. This time it felt bittersweet. Under the stars, they shared their fears and hopes, promising to support each other no matter the distance. They vowed to make time for visits and nightly calls, to keep the flame of their relationship alive. I'll always be your biggest fan, Jake said, his eyes earnest. And I'll always be yours, Lily replied, her heart full of determination. As they kissed one last time that night, it felt like a promise, a commitment to love even across miles. The following weeks were filled with a mix of excitement and loneliness. Jake settled into his new job, and while they maintained regular contact, the distance sometimes felt overwhelming. They shared updates about their lives, but each conversation highlighted the gaps between them. Yet, amidst the challenges, their love remained a beacon. Jake made the effort to visit whenever he could, each reunion filled with joy and longing. Their time together became cherished moments, a blend of adventure and intimacy that reminded them of their connection. One night, as they sat together on the couch during one of his visits, Jake looked at her with a serious expression. I've been thinking a lot about us, he began. Lily felt her heart race. What's on your mind? I don't want to keep living like this forever. I want us to have a plan. She took a deep breath, feeling a mix of hope and anxiety. What do you mean? I want to find a way for you to come to the city. We could build a life there, together. Lily's heart soared at his words. You really want that? More than anything, I can't imagine my life without you. The conversation opened a new door of possibilities. They discussed logistics, the idea of Lily finding a job in the new city, and the excitement of starting a new chapter together. It felt like the pieces of their puzzle were finally coming together. As winter turned to spring, they worked diligently towards this new goal. Lily applied for jobs and Jake supported her every step of the way. The anticipation of a future together fueled their efforts, making every challenge feel surmountable. Finally, after weeks of applications and interviews, Lily received an offer for a position in Jake's city. When she shared the news, they celebrated with tears of joy and laughter, their dreams beginning to materialize. The move wasn't without its challenges, but with each passing day they navigated the ups and downs together. When the day finally came for Lily to pack up her things and leave her old life behind, Jake was there, ready to support her. As they loaded her belongings into the car, a sense of excitement bubbled within her. "I can't believe this is happening," she said, glancing at Jake, who was beaming with pride. "Neither can I," he replied, "but I know it's the right move for us." The drive to the new city felt surreal. With Jake by her side, the journey was filled with laughter and music, a mix of nostalgia and hope for the future. Arriving at her new apartment, they unpacked together, transforming the empty space into a home. Each box opened revealed memories and dreams, a testament to their journey. As they decorated, Lily felt a sense of belonging wash over her. One evening, after a long day of settling in, they curled up on the couch with takeout, sharing stories about their days. "I can't believe we made it," Jake said, looking around their new space. "Me neither," Lily replied, continuing from where we left off, her heart swelling with gratitude. "It feels surreal, but in the best way." Jake smiled, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "This is just the beginning, you know. I can't wait to see what we'll create here together." As the weeks passed, they settled into their new routine. Lily started her job and quickly made friends, but there were still moments when the challenges of adjusting to a new city felt overwhelming. Fortunately, Jake was always there to support her, whether it was cooking dinner after a long day or exploring the local parks on weekends. One sunny Saturday, they decided to take a walk through the city's vibrant downtown. The streets were alive with activity. Street musicians played soulful tunes, and vendors lined the sidewalks with colourful crafts and delicious foods. Hand in hand, they strolled through the bustling atmosphere, the energy of the city enveloping them. "Let's grab some food," Jake suggested, pointing to a food truck serving gourmet tacos. "I've heard great things about it." "Sounds perfect," Lily replied, her stomach rumbling in agreement. They ordered a variety of tacos and found a spot at a nearby picnic table. As they ate, they laughed and shared stories about their week, feeling the thrill of being in a new place together. After finishing their meal, they wandered into a nearby art gallery. The colourful paintings and sculptures sparked their creativity, and they spent time discussing their favourites. As they moved through the exhibits, Jake paused in front of a striking piece. A large canvas filled with abstract shapes and vibrant colours. "What do you think?" he asked, studying her reaction. "I love it. It's chaotic but beautiful. It reminds me of how life can be messy, but still amazing," Lily mused. Jake nodded, his expression thoughtful. "Exactly. It's a bit like us, right? We've had our ups and downs, but look where we are now." Lily smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her. "I wouldn't trade our journey for anything. It's made us who we are." As they left the gallery, the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the city. They walked to a nearby park and found a quiet spot to sit on the grass. The beauty of the sunset mirrored the glow in Lily's heart as she leaned against Jake, feeling completely content. "Look at that," Jake said, pointing to the sky as the colours deepened. "It's like a painting." "It really is," she agreed, "and we get to witness it together." In that moment, Lily felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. They had faced so many challenges, but now, here they were, building a life together in this vibrant city. As the sun dipped below the horizon, she turned to Jake, a serious look on her face. I know we've talked about the future, but I want to make sure we're still on the same page, she said, searching his eyes. Jake took a deep breath. I want us to grow together, Lily. I see us moving forward, maybe even taking bigger steps. What do you mean? She asked, her heart racing. I've been thinking about how I want to build a life with you. Not just here, but really invest in our future. He paused, gauging her reaction. I'm talking about taking the next step, maybe even moving in together. Lily's heart soared. You really want that? I do. I want us to be a team, to share everything. I can't imagine my life without you. Tears of happiness filled her eyes as she nodded. I want that too. I want us to build a life together. Jake smiled, leaning in to kiss her softly. The moment felt monumental, solidifying their commitment to each other. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the stars begin to twinkle in the deepening night sky. As spring turned into summer, they began looking for a new apartment together. The search was both exciting and daunting, but they navigated it as a team. They attended open houses, debated colour schemes, and laughed over the quirks of each place they visited. Finally, they found a cosy two-bedroom apartment with a small balcony overlooking a park. The moment they stepped inside, they both felt it, a sense of home. This is it, Jake said, grinning at her. I can see us here. Me too, Lily replied, her heart racing with excitement. It feels perfect. They signed the lease, and soon after, the moving day arrived. With friends and family helping, they packed up their belongings and made the transition into their new life. The chaos of boxes and furniture brought a sense of joy, knowing they were building a space together. As they unpacked, they took the time to personalize their new home. They hung artwork, arranged furniture, and even created a cozy reading nook. One night, they shared a bottle of wine on the balcony, looking out over the city as they enjoyed the warmth of their new beginning. I can't believe how far we've come, Lily said, reflecting on their journey. From that drive to here, it feels like a dream. Jake nodded, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. And this is just the start. I'm excited for everything ahead of us. With their lives intertwined, they embraced the everyday moments that came with sharing a home. From cooking together to lazy weekends spent binge-watching their favorite shows, each day was filled with laughter and love. However, not everything was easy. They encountered challenges typical of any couple living together. There were disagreements over chores, late-night work calls that disrupted their peace, and moments when the stresses of life felt overwhelming. But each challenge only strengthened their bond as they learned to communicate and compromise. One evening, after a particularly long week, Lily came home exhausted. Jake noticed her mood immediately. Hey, what's wrong? He asked, concern etched on his face. I just had a tough day at work, she admitted, sinking onto the couch. I feel like I'm drowning in deadlines. Jake sat beside her, wrapping an arm around her. I get it. Want to talk about it? I don't know. I just feel like I'm not doing enough. I want to succeed, but also be present here, she said, her voice laced with frustration. Hey, it's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes. We're a team, remember? He looked into her eyes, his expression serious. You don't have to carry this alone. We can figure it out together. His support filled her with gratitude. Thank you, Jake. It means a lot to know you're here for me. Always, he promised, pulling her closer. Let's take a break tonight. We can order takeout and watch something fun. As they settled into the couch, the warmth of his presence reminded her of the strength they had as a couple. It was moments like these that grounded her, reminding her of the love that formed the foundation of their relationship. As summer turned into fall again, they celebrated their first anniversary together. They planned a weekend getaway to a cabin in the mountains, a retreat to reconnect and reflect on their journey. The drive was filled with anticipation, and when they arrived, the beauty of the landscape took their breath away. The cabin was nestled among trees, with a stunning view of the mountains. They spent their days hiking, exploring the area, and their evenings cozied up by the fireplace, sharing their hopes and dreams. On their last night, as they sat outside under a blanket of stars, Jake turned to her, his expression serious. "Lily, this past year has been the best of my life. I've never felt more connected to anyone." And tears filled her eyes as she listened. "Me too, Jake. It's been incredible." Jake took her hands in his. "I want to take our relationship to the next level. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I want to ask you something." Her heart raced, anticipation bubbling within her. "What is it?" He paused, searching her eyes for reassurance. "Will you marry me?" Lily gasped, her heart soaring. "Are you serious?" He pulled out a small box from his pocket, opening it to reveal a beautiful ring. "I've never been more sure about anything in my life. I want to spend forever with you." Overwhelmed with joy, Lily nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Yes. 1,000,000 times. Yes." Jake slipped the ring onto her finger and they embraced, the warmth of their love enveloping them. The stars seemed to shine even brighter above, celebrating their commitment. As they returned home from their trip, the reality of their engagement began to sink in. They navigated the excitement of planning their future together, sharing ideas about their wedding and the life they envisioned. In the months that followed, they grew even closer, solidifying their partnership through every decision and plan. They learned the importance of compromise, balancing their individual dreams with their shared goals. When the wedding day finally arrived, it was a beautiful celebration of their love, surrounded by friends and family. The vows they exchanged were heartfelt promises to support, love, and cherish one another for a lifetime. As they danced together, enveloped in the warmth of their loved ones, Lily couldn't help but think back to that drive that had changed everything. Their journey had been filled with challenges and joy, but ultimately, it had led them to this moment, together. With a future full of possibilities ahead, Lily and Jake stepped into their next chapter, hand in hand, ready to embrace whatever life had in store. Continuing Lily and Jake's story as they embark on their new life together after their wedding. The first few months of marriage were a whirlwind of joy and adjustment. Lily and Jake settled into their routines, finding comfort in their shared life, while also navigating the changes that come with being newlyweds. They decorated their apartment with memories from their travels, framed photos of their favorite moments, and little reminders of their love. One weekend, they decided to host a gathering with friends to celebrate their new chapter. As they prepared, laughter filled their home. Lily was in the kitchen chopping vegetables while Jake set up the living room with cozy seating and twinkling lights. "Do you think we have enough food?" Lily called out, glancing at the spread they had laid out. "I think we could feed an army," Jake laughed, his arms filled with more snacks. "But that's not a bad thing. People love to eat." Their friends arrived and the evening quickly transformed into a joyful celebration. Laughter echoed throughout the apartment as they shared stories, played games, and reminisced about the past year. The atmosphere was electric, a beautiful blend of friendship and love. As the night wore on, Jake and Lily found a quiet moment on the balcony, watching the city lights twinkle below. "I love nights like this," Jake said, leaning against the railing. "It's amazing to share our happiness with everyone." Lily smiled, her heart full. "It really is. I feel so lucky to have you by my side." But as summer turned into fall, they continued to explore their new life together. They discovered local restaurants, attended community events, and took weekend trips to nearby destinations. Each adventure solidified their bond and deepened their understanding of one another. One crisp autumn afternoon, they went apple picking at a local orchard. The trees were heavy with ripe fruit, and the air was filled with laughter from families enjoying the day. They wandered through the rows of trees, playfully tossing apples at each other and capturing moments with their camera. "This one is perfect," Jake exclaimed, holding up a shiny red apple. "We have to make pie later." "Only if you promise to help," Lily teased, laughing as she caught an apple he tossed her way. As they filled their basket, the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the orchard. They found a quiet spot to sit and enjoy the view. "I love this," Lily said, leaning against Jake. "Just being here with you feels right." Jake nodded, his expression softening. "It's moments like these that remind me how much I cherish our life together." With the harvest season in full swing, they decided to experiment in the kitchen. That weekend, they tackled their first homemade apple pie. Flour dusted the counters, and laughter filled the air as they navigated the recipe together. "Okay, what's next?" Jake asked, reading the instructions. "Now we mix the sugar and spices," Lily replied, trying to keep a straight face as Jake accidentally spilled some flour. "Oops," he said, grinning. "Looks like we're creating a masterpiece here." After several missteps, the pie finally made it into the oven. As it baked, they spent the time playing music and dancing around the kitchen, enjoying the process more than the end result. The aroma of cinnamon filled the air, and when the pie was finally ready, they couldn't wait to taste their creation. "Moment of truth," Jake said as he cut into the pie. They took their first bites, and Lily's eyes lit up. "This is amazing! We're culinary geniuses." "I knew we could do it," Jake said, beaming with pride. "We make a great team." As winter approached, the holidays brought new traditions. They decorated their apartment with lights and ornaments, creating a cozy atmosphere. One night, they cuddled on the couch with hot cocoa, watching holiday movies. "I love how we're starting our own traditions," Lily said, snuggling closer to Jake. "Me too. I can't wait to see what our future holidays will look like," he replied, kissing her forehead. As Christmas approached, they decided to volunteer at a local shelter, giving back to the community together. The experience was humbling and heartwarming, reinforcing their commitment to each other and to making a positive impact in the world. New Year's Eve found them celebrating with friends at a lively party. As midnight approached, they gathered with everyone, counting down the seconds. When the clock struck 12, they shared a passionate kiss, the promise of a new year ahead filled with possibilities. "I have a feeling this year is going to be our best yet," Jake said, pulling back to look into her eyes. "Me too. I can't wait to see what adventures await us," Lily replied, her heart racing with excitement. As the year unfolded, they navigated new challenges, including career changes and the balance of their busy lives. They learned to communicate openly, tackling issues head-on and supporting each other through every hurdle. Their relationship deepened as they faced life's uncertainties together. One day, Jake came home looking particularly thoughtful. "Lily, I've been thinking about something," he began, taking a seat next to her on the couch. "What's on your mind?" she asked, sensing the seriousness in his tone. "I want to talk about starting a family," he said, his eyes searching hers. Lily felt her heart race at the mention of children. "Wow, that's a big step. What are your thoughts?" "I feel ready. I want to build a family with you," he replied, his voice steady. "But I also want to make sure we're both on the same page about it." Lily took a moment to process his words. "I've thought about it too, but I think we should enjoy this time together a bit longer. Let's make sure we're fully settled in our lives first." Jake nodded, relieved. "I agree. I just wanted to share where my head was at." They spent the evening discussing their dreams for the future, the kind of life they wanted to create together. The conversation was filled with excitement and apprehension, but ultimately they both felt reassured by their shared vision. As spring arrived, they celebrated their 2-year anniversary with a weekend getaway to a nearby beach. The sun was shining, and the sound of waves crashing against the shore filled the air. They spent their days lounging in the sun, exploring the coastline, and enjoying each other's company. One evening as they walked along the beach, Jake took Lily's hand, pulling her close. "I can't believe how fast time has gone," he said, looking out at the horizon. "I know. It's been such an incredible journey," she replied, feeling a wave of nostalgia. As they walked, they collected seashells and shared dreams for the future. The sunset painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, creating a beautiful backdrop for their reflections. "Whatever comes next, I want to face it with you," Jake said, stopping to look into her eyes. "Me too. We're a team no matter what," Lily affirmed, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. With their hearts full and minds intertwined, they returned home from their trip feeling more connected than ever. Their love continued to grow, enriched by the experiences they shared and the dreams they built together. As the months passed, they found themselves more involved in their community, hosting gatherings with friends and creating lasting memories. They balanced their professional lives with their personal lives, making a conscious effort to prioritize each other amidst their busy schedules. One summer evening, they decided to host a barbecue with friends in their apartment courtyard. As the sun set and laughter filled the air, they felt a sense of belonging in their new city. During the gathering, Jake took Lily aside. "I want to thank you for everything you do, for us, for our friends, for this community. You're truly amazing," he said, his eyes warm with appreciation. Lily blushed, feeling a rush of love. "I couldn't do it without you. We make a great team, remember?" As they returned to the party, surrounded by friends and joy, Lily felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, hand in hand, ready for whatever the future might hold. Continuing Lily and Jake's story as they navigate their growing relationship and the new challenges that arise. As summer turned into fall, Lily and Jake found themselves enjoying the rhythm of their lives. The apartment was now filled with the warmth of shared memories, photos from their adventures, a collection of books they loved, and little mementos from trips they'd taken together. It felt like home in the truest sense. However, with the change of seasons came new challenges. Lily had been feeling restless at work, caught in a routine that no longer inspired her. One evening, as they sat on the couch unwinding after a long day, she decided to share her feelings with Jake. "Can I talk to you about something?" she began, her voice a mix of apprehension and honesty. "Of course, what's on your mind?" Jake replied, setting his book down and giving her his full attention. "I've been feeling a bit stuck at work lately. I thought I'd love my job, but it's just not fulfilling me anymore. I think I want to explore new opportunities," she admitted, her heart racing. Jake nodded, his expression understanding. "That makes sense. It's important to feel passionate about what you do. What kind of opportunities are you thinking about?" "I'm not entirely sure yet. Maybe something creative or even a different industry altogether. I just feel like I need a change," Lily explained, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. "Have you considered taking some time to explore what you really want? Maybe even some courses or workshops?" Jake suggested. "I think you'd thrive in something you're passionate about." Lily smiled, appreciating his support. "That's a good idea. I'll look into it. Thank you for being so encouraging." Over the next few weeks, she began researching various options. She signed up for a few workshops in graphic design, something she had always been interested in but never had the chance to pursue. The excitement of learning something new reinvigorated her, and she couldn't wait to share this journey with Jake. One weekend, they visited an art fair where local artists showcased their work. As they wandered through the booths, Lily felt inspired by the creativity surrounding them. "Look at that," she exclaimed, pointing to a vibrant painting that caught her eye. "I love the colours." Jake admired it as well. "It's beautiful. It's amazing to see how much talent is out there," he said, pulling her closer. "This is what you could create too." Lily felt a rush of determination. I want to be part of this world." After several weeks of classes and exploration, Lily felt her confidence grow. She started creating her own pieces, experimenting with colours and techniques. Jake was her biggest supporter, often encouraging her to share her work online and with friends. One evening, after a particularly successful painting session, she turned to Jake. "I can't believe how much I'm enjoying this. I really think I want to pursue it more seriously," she said, excitement shining in her eyes. "I think you should. You have a real talent," Jake replied, his voice filled with sincerity. "Have you thought about how you could take it to the next level?" "I've considered applying for a few freelance projects, maybe even trying to sell some of my work," Lily said, her heart racing at the thought. "Do it. I'll help you in any way I can," Jake offered, a proud smile on his face. With Jake's unwavering support, Lily began reaching out to local businesses and online platforms to showcase her art. She quickly discovered a small community of artists and entrepreneurs who encouraged her every step of the way. Each small success fueled her passion, making her feel alive in ways she hadn't in a long time. As the holiday season approached, they decided to host a small gathering to celebrate their friends and the new paths they were forging. The apartment was filled with laughter, delicious food, and holiday cheer. During the evening, Lily unveiled her recent artwork, showcasing her growth and dedication. "Wow, Lily, this is incredible!" one of their friends exclaimed, admiring her work. "You've really captured something special here." Lily felt a rush of pride as Jake stood by her side, beaming with admiration. "I knew she had it in her," he said, wrapping an arm around her waist. After their friends left, Lily turned to Jake, her heart full. "Thank you for believing in me. I couldn't have done this without your support." "You've done this all on your own. I just knew you had it in you," Jake replied, his gaze warm and reassuring. "I'm so proud of you." The weeks that followed were a blend of creativity and preparation for the new year. As they settled into their routines, they began discussing their future goals more seriously. Their conversations naturally gravitated toward the idea of starting a family, something they both wanted but hadn't yet fully committed to. One evening, over a cozy dinner, Jake brought it up. "Lily, I've been thinking more about our conversations regarding a family. I want us to take that next step when we feel ready," he said, his voice steady. Lily looked up, her heart pounding. "I want that too. I think we should consider it more seriously, but I want to make sure we're both ready. There's so much to think about." "I agree. Let's talk about what that would look like for us," he suggested, his tone encouraging. They spent the evening discussing their dreams, fears, and what kind of parents they hoped to be. It was an enlightening conversation filled with laughter and moments of vulnerability. As the new year approached, they decided to set goals for themselves, both as individuals and as a couple. They wrote down their aspirations and pinned them to a board in their living room, a visual reminder of the life they were building together. When January 1st arrived, they celebrated with a quiet evening at home, reflecting on the past year and everything they had achieved. "Here's to new beginnings," Jake said, raising a glass of sparkling cider. "To us, and all the adventures ahead," Lily replied, clinking her glass against his. As winter settled in, they continued to grow closer, exploring new hobbies and interests. They took dance classes together, enjoyed cooking nights, and even started a small garden on their balcony, nurturing both plants and their relationship. One snowy evening, as they returned from a dance class, Lily noticed Jake's contemplative expression. "What's on your mind?" she asked, sensing a shift in his mood. "I've just been thinking about how life is changing. With everything we're exploring, it feels like a turning point," he admitted. Lily took his hand, squeezing it gently. "Change can be scary, but it's also exciting. We're evolving together, and I love that." He nodded, smiling at her reassurance. "You're right, I wouldn't want to navigate this with anyone else."